I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Nice Guy, Johnny Lopez, who is coming off a very impressive win at Bellator 232 just a couple short weeks ago over Dan Cormier. First of all, congratulations on the win, Johnny. It was a great performance. I really feel like the image that I'm going to take from that weekend overall was the hematoma that was on Dan's head early on in the first round. It was gruesome. It looked like the size of like a grapefruit or something. I spoke to him a little bit after the fight, and he said that was caused by a headbutt. Is that true?
Yeah, I think we both bobbed and weaved like at the same time and weaved right into each other. That stuff happens, man, and I really didn't feel it that much. I guess we must have hit on two different parts of our heads, but I'm glad I didn't have that hematoma. The thing was huge.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because when the visual went up on the big screen and all the crowd saw it, everyone was going nuts because it really was. It's just one of those things that when you see, I mean, it happens from time to time in the sport, but when you see it, it's just one of those things that really catches your eye. You just can't stop looking at it. It's like a car crash or something.
Yes.
Did you feel like maybe he was dazed or hurt by that? Could you tell that maybe you had him on the ropes a little bit in the first round?
Definitely you could tell when he first hit the ground. It was like you said, he was a little hazy. Because I was coming with a left hand anyways, so I know our heads collided, and I think my elbow hit him too. My elbow was like, that was what was hurting when it hit the ground. Like I feel my elbow like um pulsating, like it was swelling up right away. But it was definitely the head that like gave him that. I could tell you had that woozy feeling, but he's really good at. He's just a savvy fighter in general. He's really good. He held on to me, made sure I wasn't able to like, inflict more damage onto him. But you could tell, yeah, it definitely like probably took something out of him at first. He
Now,
recovered well though. The kid's tough, man.
absolutely. He really is. He's a tough fighter. And that kind of is a perfect transition into my next question because, the casual fan might look at that fight going into it like you're a significant favorite and Dan's a heavy, heavy underdog. Just looking at the records in general, you got a very good record. His isn't as great as yours, but he has fought a lot of really good fighters, as have you. Having said that, how serious did you take this fight with Dan, and what was your game plan going in? Did you feel like you had to stick to a certain set of skills, whether it was stand up or get him on the ground to win the fight, or did you just feel like you could outclass him, regardless of where it went?
It's a good question. I took it as like I know what his record is, but I've fought on the same cards as him before. We've been in the same circles, so I knew who he was really. Like he wasn't a 8-8 fighter or whatever, you know what I mean? Like he has fought really good dudes, fought them really well, has beaten guys. I've seen him beat guys real quick too, like flying triangles and all types of stuff. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. He comes out of what was it? Where's the
Triforce.
Triforce, yeah. So Triforce is a good squad. I know a few guys over there, and so I knew not to sleep on this dude. Like if we kept it standing, I knew that he could hit me with a heavy shot. I knew even if we're on the ground, he could throw up a flying triangle or whatever. So I definitely went in, really prepared. Like I was facing the number one guy, if anything, because I knew what he was all about, and I respect him a lot.
Now, outside of the cage, Dan's a really nice guy. Like I've got to talk to him a couple times. He's just a good dude. Do you get more amped up going against guys that maybe you don't like quite as much, or do you feel like when you step in the cage, whether it's someone you like or don't like, it's just all business?
Yeah, probably more the latter. Like it's all business, no matter who it is. I try not to let my emotions get the best of me. Like no matter how this guy acts, I'm still just gonna be focused and determined, and like try to do my game plan. But I fought. Usually, I'm cool with guys who I fight anyways. But I have gotten to certain fights where the guy's been like this close at weigh-ins and like trying to, start some or whatever. So, but I never felt like, oh, extra motivated because he did that. Like, I just figured to myself, like, after I beat him, he'll just live with regret after that. That's all.
Yeah, good answer. Now, obviously, Dana White always says never leave it in the hands of the judges. You just never know nowadays what they're looking at. When the fight was over and you guys went the distance, how confident did you feel like you won? Did you feel like you won every round and there was just very clear cut that there wasn't any way it could be any different?
I feel like I've been a student of the game for a long time. Now fighting for this long, I feel like just my MMA IQ is really what I think my strongest gift is that I have that I bring into the cage. So breaking it down objectively as each round goes by, first I have Russell in my ear and he tells me whether I won or lost the round, like honestly and right away. Like, you lost that round, you got to get that back. Or, he'll tell me, okay, good job, you won because of this. Okay, we got to continue, and he'll coach me. So each one, I was told that I won the rounds, and I felt like I had won the rounds. Like, I strategically did the right things to win. So I feel like I won all three. I know they had the judges' scorecards at the end, and they called 29-28 from one of the judges, and I was like, surprised, but you just can't leave it in the hands of the judges, like you said. I wish I got the finish. I wish that any time that I fight, and it goes to the decision. So it is what it is, man, but I got that W, so I'm happy for it.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You got the win. You improved your record. Again, like I said earlier, very impressive record. How did you celebrate afterwards? Did you stick around and watch the fights? Because all in all, that weekend, those were two great cards. There's a lot of big name fighters. Did you kind of hang out, kick back, and just watch the fights?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I came back and I watched, I think I missed a couple, and I watched Baby Slice and then all the ones after that.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your overall thoughts on the main event with Rory and Lima?
I mean, it's tough because I think both guys, there's so much on the line with that $1 million, and obviously they have a mutual respect from fighting each other before, and it was a battle, a war, So I think the combination of those two things kind of made it like what it ended up being, where some people were disappointed there wasn't enough action and stuff like that. But I think it was like mutual respect, and with everything on the line, you could tell that they were playing it safe a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Still, though, I still enjoyed watching it, just technically. So.
Absolutely. And I'm sure there will be a trilogy fight. And when that happens, I'm sure there will be more fireworks the third time around than that second fight. Now, I do
so too.
Yeah, no, I figured most people would, with those two guys, especially with their skill sets and, hearing it from people that maybe they didn't bring it as much as the fans wanted them to. I'm sure we'll see a very good one once they do fight a third time. I do want to just get your thoughts, too, on the Bmf outcome, because that's something everyone's talking about. I've actually met Nate Diaz a couple times. He's a really cool guy. I was cheering for him. I know I'm supposed to be objective, but sometimes it's hard. Moscow looked amazing. Like, he clearly won all three rounds, no doubt about it. But for my money, Diaz he has proven in the past he comes on strong in the fourth and fifth, and he's just one of those guys that's a gamer. Did you feel, especially from someone that competes at a professional level like you, did you feel like that stoppage was not right, or did you feel like it wasn't really going to matter? Like maybe the ref saved Diaz?
It's tough because just like you said, you watch the first three rounds, Masvidal was definitely giving it to him. Hitting him with heavier shots, changing levels were body shots, head shots. But just like you said too, man, Nate always comes strong, especially fourth, fifth round. So I think you were probably expecting that. I was too. Like, oh, wait till these last two rounds. This is going to really be, crazy. But dude, it was a bad cut. Like that one on top of the eyebrow. And I've had a couple. Two of my losses were from doctor stoppages where I had a significant cut on the eyebrow and they stopped it. It's a terrible feeling. Oh, you're so angry. I mean, the referee and the doctor, they're there to protect you from yourself, really. And, I understood both times that it happened to me, why they did it, but you can't help but, like, be angry and think, oh, I could have done, I could have won still or something like that. But, they just got to run it back.
Yeah.
That's it, man. You got to run it back. It's tough because Diaz, he has a lot of scar tissue. I feel him like I got it all on my eyebrows too. So it's tough, man. Like you get hit with even like a shot that's not even flush, and sometimes it could just cut you open. So
start spraying. Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully they do decide to run it back. Dana White doesn't seem like that's what he wants to do next, but I'm sure the fans will make it known that they'd like to see it back.
I don't know how he wouldn't want to. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
money.
I don't know.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you here. Let's transition back to your career here. You've actually won 11 of 12 fights, which is very impressive. And after you got off to maybe a little bit of a slower start to your pro career than you would have liked, what clicked? What's different? Why have you just transitioned into being the number one ranked fighter in all of New England in your weight class?
Well, I started off just like you said, real bumpy ride. Like I 0-2. But I was also, fighting out of a little school. I was trying to go to a place that was closest to me, the cheapest. I was definitely taking shortcuts. So after going 0-2, and I felt like I was better than that. Then I started to realize, like, okay, let me do some research. Let me really look around. Let me sacrifice some extra money. Let me sacrifice the extra time that it'll take to drive to wherever I need to go to really get the training that I need. And I actually had a buddy of mine who's my head jiu-jitsu instructor now, Rafael Quinones. So Hapa, he was like, dude, you got to come to Underdog. We got good fighters over there, deep squad, really good instructors. And I only had like one coach before. Now I have like a wrestling coach, a striking coach, a jiu-jitsu coach. I have somebody who does my strength and conditioning. So I think after I made that turnaround of like sacrificing just more money and more of my time traveling, stuff like that, then okay, I was 1-1 with Underdog. And then from there I had I think I had a 7-fight win streak. And then I lost a decision, and now I'm on like a 3 or 4 fight win streak. So, dude, it was definitely that change, though. That's what made me, basically who I am today as a fighter. So grateful and happy for all those guys over there and for my coaches, everything, man. So that was definitely what did it.
Yeah, obviously Underdog, they've got a lot of great fighters that compete out of there and some great coaches. I talked to Matt Bissett a few times, obviously a wonderful fighter and human being right there. Where do you feel like you're at in your career? When you see, the Ultimate Fighter is very popular. You got Contender Series. Everyone from New England seems to be going on Contender Series. Are you a little upset that you haven't got that call? Do you feel like you're next?
I get people ask me that all the time, like, dude, when you go into UFC and a Contender Series, you should be on there. If these other guys I've seen go on there, and I feel like if you know it yourself, like I know I'm at that level. I know I could compete with any of those guys. But I know Dana also has, for his Contender Series, he only likes guys who are like 30 years old and under. He only he has certain things that he's looking for, which as a businessman, God bless him, I get it. I guess it's not something that I feel like I need. I think I did before, but now at a point in my career, I feel like I know where I'm at and I'm confident with the skills that I have. And if somebody gives me a call or gives me a chance, hell yeah, I'll jump all over it and I'll fight whoever they want. If Bellator doesn't even have a flyweight champion. I was like, dude, you guys don't even have a flyweight champion? Like, you guys should run a tournament, get all the people from around the country, outside of the country if you want, and let me jump up in there too.
Yeah.
And I would love that as an opportunity too. So for me, I'm not waiting for anything anymore. I don't feel like I need anything else to like, show how good I am or anything like that. I'm just at peace, man. Life is good, bro. I can't complain.
What about a rematch with Remo? That's the guy to give you your last loss. Is that something that really gets your juices flowing?
Yeah, of course. Anybody who I've lost to, I would definitely fight again. But again, it's also something that I don't feel like I need to do. I know I could have won that fight. I know why I lost, and I think if anything, I wouldn't take it away for anything because I think that really helped me really get my MMA IQ and stuff like that even higher because I know what I did wrong. I know strategically certain things I should and shouldn't do. Some things are high risk and can put you in a bad situation. Maybe I don't get finished, but now I'm in a bad position. And in judges' eyes, I like went for guillotine in one of those rounds and I didn't get it. And then he was on top. I really wasn't in danger, but on scorecards, you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it taught me a lot. And would I run it back? Absolutely. But again, it's not anything I feel like, oh yeah, I need to get that back, or whatever. So no, man, I'm good.
So are you signed a contract with Bellator right now? Or are you on a fight-to-fight deal? What's your current contractual situation?
Right now I'm on a fight-to-fight type of deal. But I'm down for contracts. Like if anybody got one to offer, like I would love one with Bellator. I really liked fighting for CES too. CES was an awesome company. I'll probably my next fight. I'm hoping for it to be with CES, but I think Reality Fighting might want me to defend my flyweight title with them too. So I'd be down with that too. I'm just trying to get fights in, man, get some money, have fun, take my daughters out and stuff, like with the winnings afterwards, bro.
Sounds like you are living the good life. Let's talk about that next fight. Thanksgiving, Christmas are right around the corner. Are you going to take a little time off, maybe, just enjoy the family, or are you going to be staying in camp looking for a fight by the end of the year?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking for a fight. I've already talked to Russell, my head coach, and Matt. Matt helps me set up my fights too. So we're still looking for fights. I stay in the gym all the time. I coach jiu-jitsu to our youth program, and I teach the beginners, adults. So I'm always in the gym anyways. But then I just love it. So, and then on the off days or I'm not coaching, I'm in there usually, sparring or rolling, or sometimes I'm at Ascension where Matt, has his new school and I'll go train with him and his guys, or, if I could get to the cage in Cromwell, it's a lot of good spots. And I just love the whole thing of it. So I'm always down to be training, and I usually don't take time off. Like I fought on Saturday and I went right to sparring on Monday. So I just got love for the game, man.
Hey, I love the work ethic, and it was awesome to see you compete in person for the first time. I look forward to seeing you jump back in the cage whenever that may be next for whatever promotion it is. We'll definitely have to keep in touch to maybe do a little fight breakdown before your next one, if that sounds good with you.
I'm down. That sounds awesome.
Cool, man. Hey, I appreciate the time. Before I let you go, if there's anyone you want to thank or any sponsors you have, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank definitely my coaches and teammates at Underdog. Man, they help me out so much. They make the fights easier than than I think they would end up being. My family always there for me, always supporting me, and obviously my kids, man, they're awesome, great motivation for me, and any of my sponsors, Timeless CBD. They're one of my sponsors. Elite Fight Sports is another one. My buddy has a company, Fight Fit, and I think basically that's it, man. And I love anybody like you or whoever else that helps the fighters, like, get our names out there, give us a little bit of, airtime, man. I appreciate you and the other guys too, and this little one, little menace to society. Hey.
She is adorable. What's your name?
Thank you, man.
What's her name?
This is Penelope, little Penny.
Oh, nice to meet you, Penelope. I like your shirt.
Hey, yeah. She's shy right now.
No worries. A lot of people are camera shy. That's a common thing. Johnny,
Yeah.
It's a pleasure talking to you, buddy. We'll do it again soon. Enjoy your day.
Hey, thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate it, man.